I'm from the city.
What if I just fully tap in, if I just fully commit to me and God for a certain amount of time, right? If I just decide that I'm going to focus fully on the things that He has asked me to do, I'm going to focus fully on becoming the woman that He has been calling me to be for a while now. I'm going to commit and to dedicate myself to that. What would happen? In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to make the most out of your self-isolation era. Hi, beautiful souls. My name is Fatima, and on this channel, we talk about all things Christian faith, mental health, self-care, and wellness. And I am so excited to dive into this topic. So let's go ahead and get right into it. That is what you all are seeing in this channel. That's what you're seeing in my consistency. That's what you're seeing in the growth of my channel. That is a direct benefit of that. But one of the most beautiful benefits of it is the peace that you experience, the confidence that you experience, the joy that you experience, and the clarity that you experience. So tip number one is to set boundaries. If you are in a season where you are just tapped in and focused on God, that means that you have to set boundaries. Now, the thing about boundaries is that I think a lot of people get confused. We think that boundaries are just for other people, right? We set a boundary. This person needs to respect my boundary. They're not respecting my boundary. Like, we hear that all the time. But do you respect your own boundaries that you set for yourself? Think about that. Really think about that, because you could tell a person all day long that you're setting a boundary with them and maybe they can't have access to you or whatever it is. But are you upholding your end of that boundary? Because if not, is it even a boundary? Or is it just a theory? Is it just something you hope to get to one day, right? So if this is truly a boundary, you have to set it and you have to be committed to it. So let's say, for example, you're in this season of you're decentering romance in your life. You're not dating right now. You're focused on yourself. You're healing your growth. That's great. That's wonderful. I love that for you, right? If that is your goal, and you notice that maybe people from your past or maybe new guys that you're meeting or connected to on social media are in your DMs. They're asking you for your number. They're asking to take you out. But you've decided that you're in a season where you are not focused on that. You're focused on your other goals. You're focused on your career. You're focused on your business. You're focused on your body, your health. You're focused on your physical appearance, right? If that happens, are you willing to uphold that standard that you set, that boundary that you set, that you and God decided that you were going to do? Are you going to maintain it? If you want to make the most out of this season, you have to maintain it. It's literally non-negotiable. We have to maintain those boundaries that we set, because if we don't, if we make an exception for someone maybe that we really like or someone that, we want to see if there's still something there, if you make an exception, I'm not saying you will regret it, but I am saying that that person will no longer respect your boundaries either. They will no longer respect when you say something that you mean it. They're going to think if you say something, you might change your mind. So stand on your boundaries. If it is something that you have said you are not doing, you are not being a part of, a lifestyle change that you've made, set it and stay there. Commit to it. Okay. So that is the first thing. Set boundaries and be willing to maintain them, which is going to require some sacrifice. Number two is to set goals. And maybe this should be tip number one, but you need to set goals. You need to decide what it is that you are trying to achieve, right? You go into this season of just spending time with God and focusing on yourself. What do you want to achieve? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to grow your business? What I would suggest you do is look at these different areas of your life: your finances, your physical health, your emotional health, and your spiritual health. Consider all those areas of your life and ask yourself, what is at least one goal that I want to set in each of these areas? I'm currently doing the 12-week year, so I have goals for each of these areas as well. And if you don't know what that is, I'll link the book down below, but definitely check it out because it is a great way to get really clear on what your goals are. So set a goal for at least one goal for each of those areas and make your goal something that is a SMART goal, which means it should be measurable, right? It should be something that, and look up a SMART goal if you don't know what it is, I'll put it on the screen, but it should be something that is measurable. It should be something that you can track. It should be something that is going to stretch you, right? So be intentional about the goals that you are setting. And let's say, for example, you have a goal to lose weight. You want to lose weight. Don't just write down on your piece of paper, I want to lose weight. Be specific. I want to lose 10 pounds. And what I like to do is to take it a step further and to break it down into actions. How do you plan to do that? Are you going to walk every day for an hour? Are you going to do cardio 5 times a week? Are you going to sign up for Pilates and take that 6 days a week? Get very clear on what the goal is and what you plan to do to get there. Tip number 3 is to commit to yourself and stick to your word. We kind of talked about this a little bit with boundaries, but I want to expand on this a little bit more, because something that I have come to realize is that when I don't stick to my word on something, it creates this feeling that I can't trust myself. I can't trust myself to be committed to something. I can't trust myself to stand in a decision. So the more that you practice this, the better and the easier it will get. But trust me when I say this is so important, to commit to the things that you say. So for example, let's say you decide that you want to meet up with a friend at least once a week, right? And you decide on Sunday that you're going to reach out to your friend and you're going to make plans for Wednesday night. Wednesday morning rolls around and maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Or maybe Tuesday evening rolls around and you're feeling overwhelmed and you're already thinking about canceling for the next day, right? There isn't any emergency. There isn't any major thing that's happening. You're just feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're feeling stressed or you're feeling, conflicted about something. If you said you were going to show up on Wednesday night, do your best to show up on Wednesday night. Now, I know that things may come up. I know that there may be emergencies. I know there may be times where you really don't feel well. Those are exceptions. But if you are a person that is typically very flaky, where you will make a plan with somebody and then you kind of just see how you feel in the moment and decide whether or not you want to go, stop doing that. And I'm telling you that because I used to be that person. I used to be that person that would commit to something on Sunday, and then when the day would roll around, I would say, I don't really know if I want to do that. I'm gonna text this person and change my mind, right? Or if I had plans to meet somebody somewhere, this is something I'm still working on, if I'm being honest, is being on time, right? Because if I'm committing to meet somebody at 6 o'clock and they're there at 5:45, now they're waiting for me if I'm 15 minutes late. And the more that you start to build that muscle of trusting yourself, you start to realize like, oh, okay, I am actually responsible and I can be on time to places and I can commit to the things that I'm going to do. So those small things then turn into big things. Now, if your goal is to lose weight and you say you're going to go to the gym every morning at 7 o'clock, it's a little bit easier to do when you're also committing to those smaller things in your life. So I want you to try that and let me know how it goes. And let's get on to tip number 4 is to find hobbies. You must find hobbies in order to make the most of this season, right? Even if you have all these amazing goals to transform your health and transform your body and transform your relationships and your money, that's all amazing. But we have to have fun. I am a huge advocate of play. Right? We cannot just be all work and all serious all the time. We have to have fun. We have to play. So find a hobby that you enjoy that is not related to your work, is not related to your purpose in serving others. Find something that is truly connected to just having fun, where you can let your hair down. Personally, I've been really enjoying dance classes lately. I've been taking all types of dance classes using ClassPass. If you're not familiar with ClassPass, click down below. I have a link for you to save a little bit of money on your first month, or maybe even get a free trial. I'll see which one it is. But I signed up for ClassPass on the free trial and I absolutely loved it. It was so much fun testing out different classes and getting a feel for what type of membership I may want to sign up for permanently. So that is a great way to experiment. There's Zumba classes, there are Kizomba classes. There's all different types of dance classes that you can take. If you're not into dance, maybe try something like pottery, maybe try a crochet, or maybe join a local group in your community where you can do something that will help you reach your goals, but it's not about that, right? For example, you can find like a walking group. You can find a group that is really just about making connections with people, but you're doing it while you're outside walking. That could be a great way to make new friends and also to work towards your goal. Some other hobbies that you can do is you can start practicing your makeup. You can get really good at doing your nails. You can start learning about these different areas that you want to grow in, but make sure that they are fun. It should not feel like work. It should not feel like another thing on your to-do list. It should literally feel like I am just having adult playtime. And lastly, tip number 5 is to serve. To serve, to be in your purpose. This is so critical. It's so critical because if you spend all this time focusing on your exterior, focusing on maybe going to therapy and getting your mind right and getting your money right, but you aren't focused on your spiritual health, you aren't focused on your relationship with God, which is through serving, right? At least for me, that's the way I see it. I see that serving is a way for me to honor God. So, yes, you want to do your Bible studies, you want to do your prayer. I feel like if you're watching my channel, you already know that because we talk about that already. But another area that I think people often forget when they are focused on themselves, they're in a season of I want to focus on me. Focus on serving, right? And that doesn't have to be through work. That can just be by utilizing the gifts and talents that you have. So if you are a great listener, if you are someone that is an amazing listener, and every time when people talk to you, they get all this clarity and they feel so much better and they feel so hopeful and easeful, utilize that gift as you are filling yourself up, as you are filling your cup. Don't forget to be present and to be a vessel for other people. Maybe you don't know what your purpose is. This is a great season to hopefully figure that out, right? Through your prayer and your journaling and your quiet time with God. But what you can do while you're figuring that out is go and serve the community. You can volunteer with the homeless. You can volunteer with my organization if you're in the Charlotte area. You can sign up at a senior citizen shelter. You can sign up at, whatever area that speaks to your heart, whether it's pets or it's elderly or it's children, whatever it is, but find an area that really lights you up and find ways that you can give back. So those are my tips to help you make the most of this season of isolation, your era of isolation, okay? Because we are romanticizing this. We're not lonely, okay? We might be alone. There's a difference. And if you are choosing a season of being alone, that is okay. And also, shout out to all of the new subscribers that came from my last video about fibroids. I am so excited that you're here. And thank you for watching that video. I will definitely be making an updated one if you're curious about my journey over there. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.